You'd think a civilization collapsing would be loud. Explosions, revolts, collapse. But most of the time, it's not like that. There's no final warning bell. No headline that reads, "This was the last normal day." Instead, collapse happens in silence. A slow unraveling. Invisible until it's irreversible. The myth of sudden death. We often imagine the fall of a civilization as this dramatic moment. A battle lost, a throne overthrown, a city burned. But history tells a different story. Rome didn't fall in a night. It fractured over centuries. The people living in it didn't all suddenly know we're living through the end. To them, it was just a rough year. Then a rough decade. Then things never quite got better. People adapted, shrunk their expectations, made peace with less. Until one day, the empire that was everywhere was nowhere. Warning signs we ignore. Here's what history shows us again and again. Collapse doesn't begin when the walls come down. It begins when people stop believing in the structure itself. And that disbelief grows slowly. When justice feels out of reach. When leaders act without vision. When the people stop participating. When outrage becomes apathy. When the noise becomes too loud to hear the warnings. It's a slow fade. Not because no one sees it, but because seeing it is uncomfortable. So we scroll past it. Laugh it off. Wait for someone else to fix it. Comfort as a trap. Civilizations, at their peak, become incredibly good at maintaining comfort. Food, water, electricity, Wi-Fi. It's all there. And that's what makes collapse so hard to see coming. Comfort convinces us everything is okay, until it isn't. We think collapse is chaos. But often, it looks like normal life, slightly worse than last year. And again next year. And again. So we adjust. We tell ourselves, it's not that bad. This is just a phase. Someone will handle it. But civilizations don't fall when things are awful. They fall when people stop noticing they've already changed. The death of participation. One of the strongest signs of collapse is when people disengage. From politics. From community. From meaning. When voting seems pointless. When conversations become conflict. When public trust evaporates. When collective purpose disappears. And once people stop believing their voices matter, the system starts to hollow out. Not by force, but by vacancy. That's how empires die. Not always from outside enemies, but from inside silence. The fragility of systems. We live in a world of incredible systems. Logistics, transportation, electricity, the internet. But the truth is, systems are only as strong as the people who maintain them and the values that support them. Once people lose trust, once leadership becomes detached, once infrastructure gets neglected, it all begins to wobble. And when one part breaks, it's never alone. History has shown us that complex systems can unravel like threads. One failure reveals another. One breakdown amplifies 10 others. And by the time it's visible, the root is already deep. The distraction loop. One of the biggest dangers in our time? Distraction. Never in history have civilizations had this much access to content, and so little access to focus. We know things are breaking. We scroll past footage of disaster, injustice, warning signs. But the next video makes us laugh. And then we forget. Empires used to fall because of enemies. Now, we risk falling because of numbness. We are overwhelmed by information, underwhelmed by meaning. And that's a recipe for collapse not in the world, but inside ourselves. The quiet collapse of culture. Civilizations aren't just buildings and technology. They are ideas, values, beliefs. When those ideas weaken, when shared meaning disappears, collapse begins at the core. We don't need invasion. We don't need disaster. We only need disconnection. Disconnection from history, from each other, from truth, from vision. And that disconnection is happening right now. So where are we? Are we collapsing? Not in a movie scene way. Not yet. But ask yourself, do people still trust the system? Do they feel represented? Are communities more united or more divided? Is our future clearer or blurrier? Do we believe tomorrow will be better or worse? If the answers make you pause, then it's not collapse we fear. It's that deep, unsettled sense that we've already started. The question that matters. So if collapse is quiet, if it's already in motion, then here's the question. Will we notice before it finishes? Or will we, like so many before us, only recognize the ending when it's long past? The next part of this video won't offer easy answers, but it will offer perspective. Because understanding collapse isn't about fearing the end. It's about finding the beginning of something different.